Yesterday, we received some shocking news about Kobe White being out and a couple other players being out for the Chicago Bulls and guys being listed as questionable. It's a bit strange. So, on today's episode, let's try to make sense of what the hell the Chicago Bulls are trying to do. Yeah, I know we're going to talk about it and break it down, but you got to hear the music first.
Cognac gang.
Shot Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. So if you're tuned in with me today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Yesterday, we got the news that Kobe White and Kevin Huerter will be listed as out. And we had guys like Nikola Vucevic and Josh Giddey be listed as game time decisions or basically questionable for tonight's matchup versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, this comes at a moment to where we're like, hey, we got 4 games left. It's time to put the pedal to the metal and try to see if the Chicago Bulls can move up those standings. I know there are some people that held out hope to say if the Chicago Bulls can move up to the 7th seed. I was more on the side of, hey, don't try to be too greedy. Let's just try to etch ourselves up to that 8th spot. And then you just have a 7 versus 8 matchup in that first round of the play-in. If you win that game, you move on. You get the 7th seed. If you lose that game, you still got one more bite at the apple just to win that game versus whoever wins the 9th versus the 10th seed. And then you just needed the one win. But we got the news that the Chicago Bulls are going to sit out Kobe White for rest. Not a toe injury that we seen the last few weeks. Not a knee injury after we seen his, he kind of take an ugly fall versus the Charlotte Hornets. Nothing too crazy. Then we get the news that Kevin Huerter, neck injury, he's out. He looked pretty damn fine to me the other night. I ain't going to lie to you. But this is where we at. Let's try to make sense of it. Because honestly, it's a bit confusing. People have been calling for the Chicago Bulls to tank since the All-Star break. The Chicago Bulls have came out consistently and reiterated the point. We're trying to win as many basketball games as possible. And to the point of my people that was pro-tank, this seems strange as hell. It now seems strange as ever to see what the Chicago Bulls are trying to do. I say, why do we choose now to chill? It's a little late. It's 4 games left in the season. It's not like you have a team full of 30-year-olds. You have a team that's relatively young with guys like Kobe White being 25, Josh Giddey being 22, Kevin Huerter being younger than 25. So what's the whole logic there is what I'm sitting here trying to make sense of. How valuable do you see this Heat game tomorrow? Do you feel like that is going to be a good deciding factor for you? Because if that's just the end goal right there, I feel like you cutting people short. And it's a bit disappointing. I said it yesterday when I broke the news that Kobe White was going to be listed as out, that I understood it in a way, but I didn't necessarily like the move that the Chicago Bulls are trying to play here. Because from trying to make sense of it, it's like, okay, are you basically saying we have no shot versus the Cleveland Cavaliers? Are you saying that as the Chicago Bulls? Because if you saying that, you can't sell us the idea that you're trying to win as many games as possible. We seen the Chicago Bulls in the last few weeks go toe-to-toe with the Lakers and sweep. We've seen the Chicago Bulls go in a tough matchup versus the number 2 seed in the West, in the Houston Rockets, and it come down to closing minutes. We've seen the Chicago Bulls go toe-to-toe with the Dallas Mavericks. They ultimately lost that game as well, but they were fighting hard. And I think that you having the experience of seeing the Cleveland Cavaliers this season, you should relatively know how this team is going to play you and how you can play them to potentially give yourself an opportunity to win. So what is the play here? Is it just to have a home play-in game? If that's the case, that's sad. That's a bit disrespectful for the people like me who have been saying, hey, let's go out here and let's see what we can do. Let's go out here and say, hey, even if we get in as the 7 or the 8 seed, it'll be a great opportunity for our young guys. And to be quite frank with you, it's kind of like a slap in the face. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I said, I kind of understand the logic, but I'm still trying to make sense of the logic because it's still a little weird for me. Because if you go out, you win the game versus the Cavs, which you very well still can tonight. You can still go out there and win the game versus the Cavs. But then on tomorrow night's matchup versus the Heat, if you win that game, you move the Heat down, the Hawks lose today, you give yourself an opportunity to be in the 8th seed already. So what is the whole play here? That's why, hey, we've been going back and forth with the pro tank or let these kids play or whatnot. The Bulls could very well still win tonight's game. It's just strange to let this happen right now. Are you sitting here telling me that you're going to bank on the Orlando Magic beating the Hawks in their last 2 out of the last 4 games that they're going to see each other? Are you going in with that type of mindset? Or are you just simply trying to play to say, hey, we got a home play-in game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And if we win that, we go ahead and we want to get the 8th seed and then, see what happens. What are you doing here? Are you saying that you don't want to be the 7th seed to play the Celtics? Are you more comfortable going into the playoffs as the 8th seed to play the Cavs? Like, if you're sitting here trying to see who you're going to match up against, I'm just here to tell you right now, you're not beating either one of those teams. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, you could probably win a game. Maybe you can win 2 games versus the Cavs. I just don't see the Chicago Bulls being good enough to just shock the world and take out the 1st seed, the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's just me. I don't necessarily see it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the chances of you upsetting the Cleveland Cavs or the Boston Celtics is very slim to none. Now, if you're the Chicago Bulls and you feeling like, hey, if we match up versus the Cavs in the 1st round, we can give them a fight for their money, that's your prerogative. That's your motive. Those are your ideas. And I would say the Chicago Bulls organization stand alone in that. Now, for the sake of discussion, if the Chicago Bulls are letting this thing play out and saying, hey, this Heat matchup game is so important to us, we going to let Coby White rest and we going to let the chips fall where they may, it still really don't hit right with me. It still don't hit right with me as a competitor. As a competitor, I'd rather them go out here, give the Cleveland Cavs everything you got, and then come back on Wednesday and give the Heat everything you got. Because if the Bulls were playing the odds and was thinking that the Heat was going to somehow lose to the 76ers last night, those chances were slim to none. I talked about that as I was breaking those news when the guys were listed as going to be out. You're banking on it, and you probably putting yourself in a bad situation because this right here, this move, in my opinion, you're putting yourself in a tough spot. Sometimes those games off, even if it's one game, can necessarily screw up the rhythm of the team. Sometimes those things happen. Sometimes if you sitting here just automatically assuming that you're going to go and give the Heat everything they got and you can chalk up a dub in there. No, it does not work like that. Unless they were selling us the dream the whole time, which in the point of the tankers, this is prime Jerry Reinsdorf. And How could I be sitting here mad at the tankers now? Like I'm still not with the tank stuff. Hence why I'm like, it's kind of like a slap in the face to see these guys go out there and put that type of product or put that type of message out there for the masses to see when Coby White has been hooping. Let him go hoop versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell has been listed out. It's not the end all be all. It doesn't give you a greater chance of beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, you could very well go and beat the Cleveland Cavaliers today, but with Coby White in the lineup, you give yourself a greater chance of doing that. Even if Josh Giddey does play tonight, even if Nikola Vucevic does play tonight, you give yourself a better chance of winning versus the Cleveland Cavaliers with a Coby White on the floor. Now, are we going to sit here and say, hey, Montes Buzelis, you got to go give me 30? You got to go give me 40? Are you sitting here telling me that Dalen Terry is ready to give me upwards of 15 points to make up the differences of Coby White? It's a bit unfair. Are we going to sit here and say THT go drop 25? Go drop a dub? He could very well do it because he a bucket. I won't cut him short on that. But I'd say it all to say that it's strange because we never know how games are going to play out. Did we not just watch the national championship last night to where one team was the aggressor early on in the first half? And then when things start to get tight, things start to get a little bit more confusing, a little bit more challenging. You let the rope go. You don't know how these games are going to go, and you cannot take these games for granted. We just seen it in the national championship game. Houston being gritty all first half, going crazy. And a better team, towards the end of the game, they were able to execute. Houston couldn't even get a shot off, man. Couldn't even get a shot off. Couldn't even get inside the painted area at the end of the game to one of their best bigs. You were only down by 2, didn't necessarily need the 3. It seemed like they wanted the 3. Milk the clock, let's take the 3. We'll chalk it up to the game. But that's a different level of basketball right there. But the same thing still applies. You cannot take these games for granted if your main focus is to win as many basketball games as possible and have your young guys playing meaningful basketball games. You can't sit there and tell us that. You cannot sit there and tell us the focus is to go out here and win as many games as possible and have your young players like a Montes Buzelis, like a Josh Giddey, like a Coby White, Dalen Terry, Julia Phillips, P. Will, to play in meaningful games if this right here is one of those meaningful games. The Cavs don't have they got 4 games left and they only got a 4-game lead over the Celtics right now. I'm not saying that they're about to go and lose 4 straight, but damn, come on, let's keep it a buck. So it's just strange. Like I said originally, I don't like it. I kind of understand it. It's just it's a lot of confusion right here, right now, as I sit here and explain this to y'all. It is very confusing on what the hell the Chicago Bulls' intentions are. Are you saying we're going to take care of the Heat? We're going to take care of I think they play the Pelicans and then they play the Sixers to end the season or something like that. But it's, you know what I'm saying? It's 2 teams that are virtually just like done with the season. So you just saying that, hey, as long as Atlanta loses one of those games versus the Magic or Atlanta loses another game, you're going to bank on that? You can't bank on that. You can't. You got to come out here and hoop. You got to come out there and hoop. But I don't know where to go from there, y'all. I ain't going to lie to you. It's not a good feeling. The only way that can cure it all is if they win tonight. But what chances are you giving the Chicago Bulls to win this game? It's a double-edged sword. It kind of, in a way. It's a dilemma. If they go out and win, Bulls look like the best people on earth. If they go out and lose, we're going to be right here treating them. Because what the fuck? Especially if it come down to a last-second shot or some last few possessions in the game. and you know how valuable and how good Kobe White has been at the end of games. So y'all try to help me make sense of this, man, because right now I'm still lost for words. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm trying to put that logic in there. I'm trying to give good reason behind some of these moves, but this move, but it's still weird. It's still strange. But I had to say what I say. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling down in the comment box. Let's try to make some sense of this. What is the logic behind this? And I'll be interested to hear what y'all have to say, man. But until then, I appreciate y'all for tuning in into another episode. Before y'all get up out of here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well, man. Make sure you always see red, even when it hurt, I guess, or even when it don't make sense, I guess. But we'll see tonight. We got basketball tonight. We'll be doing a live call, and we're going to see what's to it, man. We are really going to see what's to it. But that is it for me. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, for sure.
Cognac. Gang.